think that your lifestyle, your emotional well-being, your stress, has a lot to do with it. We have to be careful when we use the word stress, because obviously everybody has stress in their life. Not everybody's going to get cancer. So so I think the most important thing is it's caused by an unbalance in your life. You have to have your emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental self balanced. And when that gets out of balance, that's when you can get disease. I have made 360-degree changes. I think that one thing that's out there is that the majority of any cancer patients' personality, they're all people pleasers. They are very hard on themselves. They are givers and don't pay attention to what they need. It's what everybody else needs and taking care of everybody else. And I fit that to a T. So what I've had to do in the last year and a half is get very selfish, which was very difficult to do. And that's what you have to do when you're fighting something like this, is be extremely selfish. Because every minute of every day has to be for your well-being. And if you can't do something, you just can't do it. And the hardest thing to learn how to do is say no to people. I've been writing journals since all of this started. And this journal was given to me by my Healing Touch therapist, Alma Lightbody, who I started working with 4 days after my first surgery. She happened to be a friend of the family. And she gave me this journal, and on the front it says, it's actually my motto. She found this, and I just thought, oh my God, this is me in my journey. It says, I get up, I walk, I fall down. Meanwhile, I keep dancing. And I think that's really what it's all about. You have to, this journey is so up and down, and it's so hard, but it's so rewarding at the same time. And you have to keep dancing your way through it. You know, I think the most important thing to do, that everybody can learn from, is taking it one day at a time. And that sounds a lot easier than it is. It's waking up every day, thanking God for this day and the strength that He's going to give you to go through it. And getting everything out of it that you can. Everything in your face in that day is a lesson. Even the people that annoy you. They only annoy you because it's a mirror of yourself, and there's something in it that you have to learn from. And that's the way you have to go through life. And it's very difficult, no doubt about it. Try it sometime, doing it one day at a time. Don't think into the future too far. The relationships in my life are absolutely amazing. They've reached depths that I never thought that I or they were capable of. My family, it's been a rough road, because this is a rough road. It's rough on them. It's very tough. So they have their own battles to go through. But the love is deeper than ever. My friendships are unreal. You really see who's there for you and who's not. And I have my core friends that I've had for the last 8 years who are there for me in ways that I never imagined, and who give me feedback on how I've enlightened them through my journey that I never thought possible. I mean, it just brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it, and them too. We cry together all the time, because you just realize how much you love each other, and how important those relationships are, and how you just can't take them for granted, ever. A part of this whole process, and I think a real problem with the conventional medicine, which means chemo, radiation, surgery, cut, slash, and burn, as cancer patients like to call it, is that they are so statistical and so time-oriented. And no, I have never asked how much time I have, because I don't believe they can truly tell me. And I have never asked statistically what my chances are. Don't care. because they have never done a test with thousands of cancer patients that are exactly like me. So they can't possibly know how I will do on anything. And so I've never asked how long, or I don't want to know. And it's not a denial issue. I just don't believe that they can tell me. I hope to help through support groups other patients go through is empowerment. You have to take control of this beast, and you cannot let it run your life. You tell it what to do. You decide your treatments. You investigate. You decide what routes you're going to take. You tell the doctors what they're going to do, not the other way around. Which I spend time when I was doing chemotherapy at the cancer agency, watching people just get led around by the nose because they have no support system and they don't know how to research or whatever. And the doctors just say, okay, we're going to do this to you now and that to you. It's so important. And it gives you so much power in your life when so much is taken away from you, to maintain that sense of, you know what, this, I have control over this. You don't. I do. The medical doctors, they're not the boss of me, so to speak. I am. And that's important. In a nutshell, I guess the last year and a half has taken place in some fairly distinctive roles. When I came out of the first surgery, I knew what I was facing, had to do chemo. That was their suggestion. So I said, okay. I didn't even think twice about it. And I should have, maybe. I can't regret what I've done, but anyway, that's just how it happened. I, like every other patient, go, oh, okay, you know, because you're just in a blur. You're in a daze. You don't even understand the magnitude of what you're about to do. So I did chemo for 4 months, worked all the way through it, was very lucky. I've been very lucky with chemo. I tolerate it very well. Some people are on their back for months, but I was good. I was stubborn in that I insisted on working through it and doing everything I had to do that way. So I went through 4 months of chemo and found at the end of the 4 months that it wasn't doing what they wanted it to do. So after my first 4 months of chemo, that was going 5 days a week, and then 3 weeks off, and then 5 days, 3 weeks off for 4 months. They found it not to work to what they had hoped. It didn't get rid of the tumor that was left in me after surgery because it was inoperable. I decided, well, it took me a week to pick myself up off the floor when they told me it wasn't working, because of course you go into this and you just figure, oh, it's going to work, I'll just do it and I'll be fine. I took a month off and researched everything alternative. Just went into all kinds of different veins and decided to go an alternative route of metabolic therapy, which is primarily diet and supplement. I did a 3-month body cleanse in which I took 35 to 40 supplements per meal, 3 times a day, plus some in the morning and some at bedtime. As the supplements that I took they were all vitamins and minerals, totally not harmful to your body. It wasn't cured, but ironically enough, I felt like I was in the best shape of my life. I was powerfully strong and healthy in a weird sort of way. If it weren't for the cancer, I was extremely healthy. My immune system was very strong. And because this tumor had grown a little bit in that cleansing time, I decided to go with the doctors again and have more surgery to try and take it out again, because I knew that I had strengthened myself. I had gotten all the chemo out of my body. I had strengthened up everything, and it was a good time to do surgery. So I went in again.